intersection of my deepest needs. You were there, I knew, now you know.
Hi there, Leo. How are you guys doing? I really hope that this video finds you well. Welcome to your weekly reading back with me again, Anisa from Leader Stereo. For those of you who are new to my channel, hello. And for those of you who have been a long time, welcome back. So, this is going to be a relationship reading, but sometimes I also put like a little bit of a general reading too. And you could always apply this with anyone in your life. It could be with your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, exes, crushes, fiance, family members, anyone. I'm basically just going to be picking up your relationship energy in general, all right? And don't forget to also check your sun, moon, or Venus sign, because for me personally, I realized that with my readings, I resonate a lot more with my Venus sign rather than my sun sign, but probably because my Venus is in the 8th house along with my North Node there. I don't really know, but if it doesn't resonate, then it just doesn't resonate, all right? There's so many amazing, talented tarot readers out there for you to just click and watch, okay? So, Leo, you guys have a very, very interesting energy, I must say. Why? Because if you guys are dealing with one person, I feel like you guys are a bit shutting off from this person. You might receive a communication, though, if you're dealing with one person, in which you wouldn't like it. It's either you will receive information or communications, them trying to show something to you, and then you will receive it, but it won't get to you simply because you're trying to analyze, you're trying to receive that information or communication from this person in a detached manner. Okay, so what is it that this person wants? So you're trying to be less of a fire sign than you guys are, to try not to act on impulses. If this person tried to, because here's the thing, I feel like you guys have like a deep trust issues when it comes to your relationship, especially when it comes to this person. You don't want to buy in towards people who just say stuff, who sells you stuff, because King of Wands is like a salesman. They're very, very great at selling idea. They're very, very great at selling a concept, but they're not very good at maintaining. You know, they're a great starter, but they're not like a great finisher. And you'd be impressed, you'd be pleased by the information or the communication that you're receiving from them, but you're like, okay, but I'm not going to be too happy about it. I'm not going to be too excited about it, because I want to see how long this is going to work, or how much do you really mean it, and how much consistency are you willing to put in here. And what you're doing, you know, is such a safe mechanism guard for you guys, because if you guys are dealing with one person, whatever that is that they're selling, they're not even sure themselves. They are like the Two of Pentacles. So it's the type of person who is like, I mean, like, I'm going to give you an example. The type of person who, wow, I feel so infatuated by you. I miss you so much, or I love you so much right now, and I'm going to jump into a relationship with you, and we'll see how it goes. Like, I haven't really figured out what I want out of this relationship, and I haven't really figured out what I want with you in the long run. You know what I mean? So King of Wands always do stuff based off of how they feel at that moment, based off of their inspiration, their passion, or what have you. So what you're doing right now is good, you know, to not be too ecstatic or to not be too happy about it. If you haven't got that communication or information now, you're probably going to get that really, really soon, in 1 to 2 weeks to come, because now it's in your present card. But if you guys are dealing with two people, there's one person that you're completely shutting off, like you really are not interested at all, and then there's one person here that you've started to gain like a belief that, you know what, like maybe I could do something about it. But then there's also like your shadow side, or your fear, your insecurities, and your self-esteem issue that is kind of like creeping in towards you. That's why you just want to detach in here. So what is the challenge of your relationship is that you have the Two of Swords, and you also have the King of Swords. So Two of Swords is indecisions. If you guys are dealing with one person, it was exactly as I described it before. And this King of Swords, it could be you or it could be them. It talks about somebody who is up for a great standard. You or them mentally, and I feel like it's you though, you mentally want to let them in unless they do something about it. Yeah? And the King of Swords also talks about, you know, the typical mind games, the mind manipulations, and it could also talks about somebody who feels who feels a big, huge amount of resentment. As you can see, this King of Swords is carrying a book. It could be a book of sin that they've write down all of your past mistakes that you did in the past. And before you guys could be okay with them again, they're going to point out like what happened in here. Like you really have to explain this part, like what happened. So this could be you or this could be them, but there's like this a little bit of a resentment and unsolved issues or unsolved arguments in this relationship that needs to be addressed. But not in this King of Swords manner though. It really has to be like in a Three of Cups, like a friendship aspect where both of you can be transparent with one another and both of you could listen to one another and all that. So what happened in the past is that this person was was heavily on you in a way that this person was trying to figure out ways, and this person was heavily, like, you got a stalker. So even though they act attached, they know what you're up to. They know all of your moves. They know all that, and they exercise like a lot of their patience. A part of them also feels a bit intimidated by how much people loves and admires you, how much you could easily get people to emotionally connect with you. And that quality of yours is one of the things that they love, and one of the things they also find a bit insecure about. Because, wow, it's so easy for me to open up to you. It's so easy for that person to open up to you. You know, it leaves like a wide room for affairs. Like there's that worries too inside of their head. And I feel like in the past, you pulled out completely. You were the King of Pentacles in reverse. You used to be very stable. You used to be very consistent with your active services or your thoughtful actions with them. And you didn't do that in the past. It could be anything. Like for instance, if you like to drop them off in the office, or you like to pick them up from the office and drop them home, you no longer wanted to do that. There's an act of services that you pulled out, and they're like, wow, why is Leo not doing it to me? A very little thoughtful things that you like to do, and sometimes they kind of like take it for granted, and when you pull it back, now they know they missed it. Okay, so let's see what happens in the future. We'll get to the two people scenarios by the end of the reading, all right? Okay, lima kartu masa depan. So the Moon card in reverse. But I feel like the time spent when, you know, this person was detaching themselves away from you and all that was necessary, because they had like a lot of things in their life that they need to sort out by themselves. So, it's going to cut off because my memory space is running out. Wait, I'm just going to cut it. See you guys in a few sec. Bye. Okay, so let's continue. You want to start with this one. So in the future, they have the Moon card in reverse and also the Queen of Pentacles. And you guys have the Page of Wands and also the Temperance. And in the middle of it, you guys have the Three of Wands. So I feel like Leo, really though, during this 1 to 2 weeks period, it might already happen to you because it's in the present card. But if it hasn't happened, it's probably going to happen really, really soon, because it's in the present card. You're going to be receiving a communications that is really when you least expected, all of a sudden, out of the blue, and it's going to kind of like make you happy. It's going to give you like a little bit of an epiphany. You try to be careful to approach that matters with them, which is good. Why? Because one of the reasons why they're communicating with you right now is because they're starting to feel that you guys have grown distance. You know, the distance between you and them are growing further and further and further apart. And during the time when you were either distant, or whether you're having an argument, or whether you guys are having a no contact period, during that time, this person was really onto you, and this person was looking at what's up with this person and all that stuff, and they were thinking, well, maybe you were going to doing something about it because they feel like the ball is in your court or what have you, but they're like, fuck it, like I'm just going to be doing it right now. So there they are with the King of Wands. One of the reasons why they're doing this is because they have questions that they have inside of their mind. Is where you stand in this relationship again, Leo? Are you still in or are you out? Do you still care about me? And such and such. Some of you might be dealing with somebody who exhibit like a little bit of NPD traits, because this is what we call by the hovering technique. But some of you might be dealing with a genuine person as well. So, because I refuse to believe that everybody is dealing with a jerk, you know what I mean? So, when this person returns, so when this person is doing this communication, opening up a line of communications and becoming like this King of Wands, assertive person, what this person wants to know is, where do they stand in your life? They want that answer. What do you want? What are you feeling? Why aren't you doing this? Why were you like that? So they want to open that line of communication. And once they are satisfied with their answers, their worries, their fears, what keeps them haunted at night when it comes to you, starting to disappear. All right, it's starting to disappear. And they wanted a much more consistency and persistent type of relationship. They want a stable relationship with you. They're really here to stay. In which it's very, very funny, because you wanted to have a relationship that has a guaranteed of permanence. You wanted that. But when this person comes here, right, offering you that, you guys are like, Temperance is a card of Sagittarius. I'm a Sagittarius. Like, let's just go with the flow. Let's see what happens. Like, I don't want to make a decision right now. Let's just go with the flow. Let's not talk about that first. Let's build something between us first. Expectación y opposite. Let's do some fun. Let's hang out together even more and all that stuff. And once they fuck up, because you just don't trust them, but once they fuck up, you have no hesitancy to really cut this person off. Like, you really want to get this going, but you're very careful with your heart. Let's just go with the flow. I don't want to expect nothing, which is good. Yeah, and what this person wants is some changes in this relationship. So if you're dealing with one person and they're not exhibiting any type of NPD traits, narcissistic traits, this person is staying here for good, which is beautiful. And you're also going to look back to the times that you've missed each other a lot. So that's a good one, Leo. Congratulations. You actually have a good one. All right. So what happens if you guys are single? And what happens if you guys are dealing with one person, but you're over it and you're ready to move on, and you're single and you're willing to make effort to not be single? You guys still miss this past person. You still miss them very, very much. And it kind of like creeps into your thought. There's going to be somebody in your life who's going to be approaching you, probably like a Capricorn or a Libra, in which you and this person have a stable income. They have a great savings. They probably have like investments somewhere and all that stuff, but with them, like, you're not really sure. You just want to go with the flow because a part of you still misses this other person. Okay, so that is it if you guys are dealing with one person. Now let's move on to two people scenarios. Okay, so person A. Let's see about person A. Person A is somebody who exercises like a lot of their patience with you. They fall in love with you because of your sensitive and nurturing nature. They know that how much emotionally invested are you guys in this relationship and all that stuff, but a relationship was not their priority in the past. And they feel somehow that you guys are, they're just not on the same level as you guys were in the past. And then now, though, this person, you're going to be receiving a communication, or you guys are going to be receiving something that came to you as a shock. That came to you as a shock. That came to you as a shock. Because you were not expecting this, and this person might be getting like a little bit pushy with their questions because you feel besieged, you know, with the 7 of Wands in here. Like they kind of like meant well. They want to reconcile, or they want to hash out between the both of you. But the thing is that they're only seeing it from their perspective and not yours perspective. Like they mean well, they want to collaborate together with you, but they're only seeing it from their point of view. Like, I'm really, really busy. I cannot do this and I cannot do that and da 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 da. And you guys are also going to be probably a bit furious with them, because whatever happened in there really is depending on that, your emotional reactions at that time. But a part of you are like, you know, the Queen of Swords and the World card. So you probably are going to be shutting off from this person because you feel that this person is being a bit selfish towards you. In the future, this person is... in the future, because they don't get what they wanted, they don't get what their ways, this person is going to be protesting against you. And then you're starting to feel like, wow, like this person and I, he and I, or her and I, is so different. And if you were to go back to that route, you feel that you are betraying your self-growth or your soul growth. So that's person A. How about person B, Anisa? Person B is somebody who in the past you're being very, very flaky and indecisive about, and they're like trying to pinpoint like what's up with you. And then now this person is trying to figure out what the hell is wrong with you and how to get to you. In the future, they're still going to be consistent and persistent. They really wanted to have something with you that is long-term. You can actually trust person B. I would rather trust person B than person A if I were you. But I feel like you guys are much more like the Temperance. We'll see how it goes. Like, I don't know if I want to make any type of decisions right now, because, you know, a part of me is still on a self-growth journey, healing from person A. All right? So I think that is it for my reading for you, Leo. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you guys find tons and tons of clarity that you've been looking for. And I really hope that you guys have a really, really great week ahead. All right. Bye-bye, guys. Have a great day. I love you.
If I love you and you love me, let's plant a seed, watch it grow into a tree, baby. Why don't we grow some nectarines, baby? Why don't we grow a little